Hi YouTubers, Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming into the hot lead zone, and tonight we're going to mount a scope on our Marlin 336-30-30 lever action rifle. So we get the Caldwell lead sled to stabilize the rifle. We gather the tools we'll need. We're going to put on a DNZ Game Reaper mount. It comes with the necessary Allen wrenches, so that's nice. And then we're going to install a Bushnell 1.5 to 4.5 power variable tactical scope to the rifle. Here we go. And so YouTubers, the first thing we did was take the 4 Marlin 336 receiver screws out of the scope holes and put them in a nice bag so that we can keep these in the Marlin 336 box for future use. The next thing we did was install the offset hammer spur, and it's easily done. It slips over and there's a little Allen screw that goes inside the offset spur and tightens down onto the hammer itself, and it's done. Then the Marlin 336 rear sight is a folding rear sight, so we fold it downward and find out that it clears the bell of the scope without any problem, so we leave the rear sight there with the blade folded down. Now the DNZ Game Reaper scope mount is made for many rifles, and this one is made for the Marlin 336, 1895 and 1894. So it's a one-piece base, and the rings are together with the base, integral. So it takes away any chance of the rings coming loose from the scope base because they're all one piece. Now DNZ gives us the Allen wrenches necessary to tighten the Allen screws. There are 4 Allen screws that hold this mount onto the Marlin 336. Those are tightened up. The scope is put in and leveled, and then the scope rings are attached by 4 more Allen screws. Again, the Allen wrenches are supplied, and those are tightened down, and we've got the scope mounted nicely. There's the rig. Notice that the scope clears the hammer spur, so the eyepiece does not interfere with the hammer spur. Also, the variable adjustment knob does not interfere with the scope base. You see that? It clears. So when we want to change the magnification of the scope, there's no problem with the base. Finally, the objective bell is clear of the barrel or rear sight or both. So we're in business with this scope mount. And this Bushnell 1.5 to 4.5 scope is a tactical type scope. Even though it has a bell on the objective, it's still a tactical range scope. I went ahead and bore sighted the scope by using a laser bore sighter. Pick the right size arbor that goes into the barrel so that it's a nice steady attachment in there, and then we use the laser dot to get our scope reticle pretty close to it, so when we go to the range, the first shot should hit the paper pretty well. Now the important thing is, when we take this out, that all the parts come out, including the arbor and the laser bore sighter. There have been cases where pieces of bore sighters have been left in rifles, and then when the shots are fired, the rifle blows up. So watch out for that. That's a hazard of using laser bore sighters that you don't have to have problems with unless we make a mental mistake and leave those parts in the barrel. We don't want to do that. YouTubers, checking the barrels of our firearms to make sure they're clear before we start firing them is a good habit to develop anytime we go to the range or field with our firearms. Saves having barrels blowing up and guns blowing up from having obstructions. So YouTubers, there's a look through the scope at the laser bore sighter. Gives you an idea of what we want, because at a longer distance the bullets will be hitting a little higher, so you want the laser border sighter to be right about there. So that should put us in business. So YouTubers, we're ready to take this Marlin setup with the Bushnell scope and the DNZ scope mount, and we're ready to go to the range and zero it in. Bye for now.